it going, everybody? So we're back to talk some more Harley Quinn Season 5 on the channel, Episode 3. This week, we're in for quite the thrilling ride, following up in the aftermath of what happened with Harley and Ivy last week. Considering we left off last episode on a pretty interesting cliffhanger, with Ivy getting revenge on Jason for trying to kill her all those years ago. Much like Ivy, Jason ended up surviving this little ordeal as well, and has turned into a sort of plant monster. Now, in Episode 3, there are two storylines, the A storyline and B storyline, so we're going to touch upon the A storyline a little bit more, mostly because I think that storyline is far better, because it pertains to Ivy's arc progression from the last episode. The build-up we saw at the tail end of Episode 2 are pretty creepy. You know, visualizing these sort of nightmare-like visions of Jason that Ivy keeps being tormented by. In more recent years, it's been surprising how we keep seeing Floronic Man pop up in different DC properties. He was also in the very short-lived live-action Swamp Thing show. There is kind of a lesson thrown in here between Harley and Ivy. I don't really know if I would say it's a good lesson. Personally, it does feel a tad muddled, as throughout the episode, Harley is kind of unhappy that Ivy didn't share all of this stuff about her history between her and Jason. Part of me understands because she wants to know the intricacies, the history of Ivy, but at the same time, this very much felt like a very traumatic part of her life that she probably didn't want to delve into all that much. Harley isn't even really that mad about her trying to kill him either. Just the fact that she's not happy about her not sharing anything about Jason many decades ago. As strong as the A storyline in Episode 3 is, the B storyline here is where things kind of just fall off the tracks, because it does involve Clayface. Clayface is returning for Season 5. There was a time many seasons ago where I did really look forward to getting more Clayface in this show, but the last two seasons in particular, I feel like the writers have not done a good job with the character. It makes me wish more and more that they would cut him out of the show entirely and bring back a character like Dr. Psycho, who I actually genuinely enjoyed and thought he was hilarious. I just can't get into this whole focus around Clayface and his awful acting career doing this one-man Pearl Harbor show. It's not difficult at all to understand why everybody, even within the universe, just does not like Clayface. This plot thread that Clayface has, I feel like could have been a lot more enjoyable if it was just a couple seasons ago. In the context of this season, it's just kind of whatever, that he essentially kidnaps and impersonates Perry White's and takes over the Daily Planet. I will admit though, as much as I didn't like this storyline overall, I did get a laugh out of when they pan over to the page and all you see on the page is the words, "I have no ideas and want to die," over and over again, very much a homage to The Shining. Since they pretty much made it clear in Episode 2 that Bane is now staying in Metropolis, I had a good feeling he was going to be showing up from time to time throughout the season. I didn't think he was going to be showing up for this, but it was kind of unfortunate tethering Bane to this storyline with Clayface, where he writes for the Daily Planet to boost Clayface's ego. Going back to Ivy's storyline, however, I was getting increasingly nervous the more and more we saw these visions ramp up for Ivy, and for whenever this inevitable confrontation she would have. Part of me does kind of wish that we built it up a little bit more throughout the season, instead of getting the battle between the two of them in the very next episode. The usage for Floronic Man, though, in the context of this universe, I do think it is interesting. He very much is a evil counterpart to Poison Ivy. The one detail that kind of surprised me, though, I get he probably has a lot of knowledge when it comes to plants because this is his profession. Found it kind of surprising that he just got these powers and he's kicking Ivy's ass when she's been able to master these skills for so many years at this point. Maybe that's just me, but I was expecting a little bit more of an even battle, not just Poison Ivy getting absolutely wrecked for the majority of it. Poor Harley, though, having to scramble to find a solution to save Ivy with the clock ticking. I'm always going to be happy when Frank gets more screen time because he usually is hilarious. And I did love him cracking jokes while trying to stall in the green for Harley to find Jason's body. The moment Harley does find Jason's body, though, that was for sure the most satisfying part of the entire episode. It went in a direction even I was kind of surprised it went, as far as the violence level. The fact that Harley just straight up carves him to pieces with plant blood spraying everywhere. Maybe it's for the better that the blood that's coming out of Jason's body is like this yellowish gold, because if it was red, they probably wouldn't have been able to do all of this stuff. Like Harley just straight up carving his face in half. After all of this stuff concludes between Jason and Ivy and Harley, though, you would think the conclusion here is pretty exciting because Brainiac kidnaps them, kind of pondering what to do with them in the next episode. But I've said it before in my full review for the season, I think Episode 4 particularly is not one of the better episodes this season. You'll see exactly what I mean once we get that episode next week. Either way, make sure you share your thoughts down below. What'd you think of this episode of Harley Quinn? Did you like the episode? Did you not like the episode? Share your thoughts down below. If you have any predictions where we're going to go in Episode 4 and beyond, share those as well. Thank you guys, as always, checking out the videos. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you like on the video and also subscribe to the channel to update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. For next time, I'll see you guys later.